Okay.
Yes.
The Kenya National Union of Teachers came out very strongly through the person of the Secretary General Collins Oyu, and he said that one of the things that they feared was blanket condemnation of all teachers who some might actually be doing what they deemed to be innocent and were actually pursuing what their work would be, and that asked that you cite specific cases and or discipline if was necessary on those. What would be your thoughts about that?
Yes, KNUT is a social partner to TSC, and we engage them on a regular basis. Where we shall have individual cases of teachers breaching this, they will be treated as individual teachers. The Commission has no intention of having a blanket disciplinary over the teachers. Even the Code of Regulations does not provide for blanket disciplinary of teachers. We discipline teachers based on the individual mistake or individual offense. So we really, as a commission, we have no basis to blanketly condemn all the teachers. However, as I've told you, it cuts on both sides. You will have a teacher doing a video that me, Dennis, and Du consider as good and innocent. But if the relevant procedures are not followed, we run a risk of exposing this teacher, despite the good intention. And as a Teacher Service Commission, we thought this is important for us to bring on board so that we don't also expose our teachers. But we have no intention of doing what you would call a blanket discipline of the teachers as such. And the Code of Regulation doesn't provide for it anyway. Yeah.
We also know that times have changed and people employ new tools for this practice of teaching, and that falls right in the square of the digital space. So people are using different social media spaces to then, enhance their trade. How do they fall in? And if you're saying that there's a code of conduct that they must follow, is this conduct clear? How do I know as a teacher who I put a video on TikTok, for example, without it being extremely clear if I'm falling within the lines of this enhanced policy?
All right. One of the documents we share with teachers on employment is the Code of Conduct. It is essentially what other employees would call a terms of service. So this is what stipulates right from onboarding of a teacher up to the exit. It is expected that the teacher has to be conversant with it. But as a commission, we also undertake retooling of our teachers on the various mechanisms of delivering a curriculum to the learners. And in retooling of teachers, which is an exercise that we do very regularly, all right? What we do in the retooling is we also take our teachers on how to embrace the emerging mechanisms for delivery of content. Some of them exist in the digital space. Like today, the Teacher Service Commission has embraced something we call conference classes, where we would have one teacher teaching in Nairobi, but we would have 5 classes across the region attending the same class, among others. But as we do this, it is important that as the employer of the teacher, we let the teacher know that as you do this, these are the boundaries, so that we don't find the teacher in a situation where he is accused of an offense, he's accused of data breach, among others. So essentially, that's what we do, but we don't condemn the emerging trends in delivery of content in as far as those emerging